What's going on, guys, and welcome back to what is another top 10 video. I am so excited. I haven't done a top 10 video in so long and I cannot be more excited to do one right now. So today's topic we're going to be doing is the most requested top 10 topic I've ever got given. It's not necessarily my opinion, but it's a bunch of facts, which is the top 10 most expensive Pokemon cards that exist on this planet. As you probably gathered by reading the title, but if you clicked on the video like this, I'll explain it for you. These are actually the 2014 prices, so if you go and do a bit of research, I've actually updated all the prices to a current sort of standard, and I tried my best to sort of narrow down the prices to what exactly they'd be today. Number 10? So at number 10, we haven't just got an individual card, we've got a group of them, and the reason I put a group of cards in there because I've actually know a few people that actually have one or two of these cards in their collection. So who knows, you actually might have this in your collection as well. I'm actually talking about the 13 promo cards that belong to the 2009 Japanese Pichu and Arceus Illustrator contest. What exactly this is, a magazine over in Japan in 2009 ran a contest for the people to submit different artworks of Pichu and Arceus. Now keep in mind this was an exclusive Japanese contest, so you could only enter if you're a Japan citizen. And oh jeez, the people of Japan are so talented. Are you looking at these cards right now? These are one of the coolest cards ever, and this is probably biased because I love my hand-drawn Pokemon cards so much. Now believe it or not, someone has gathered the entire collection of the Pichu and Arceus cards and put them on eBay. So if you there are looking to collect the entire set, which I was looking to do until I saw the price, because they are currently valued at $3,000. Yes, that's actually a lot of money, but if you have one or two in your collection, it's worth around $200 per card, so it's definitely worth looking through your card collection and seeing if you got one for yourself. Number 9. So for number 9 is actually going to be similar to a lot of these cards here, but it's actually a contest winning card. I put the first place winning card of the Japanese Battle Fiesta tournament, which is actually a Pokemon card called Victory Ring. Now this thing is actually a new addition to a top 10 list because it's only come out in 2013 back in December. Obviously to get this card you would have had to come first in the actual tournament over in Japan, but don't worry, all those years of training has actually paid off because that card is actually worth $3,000. You might be thinking, Ando, this is flipping ridiculous, how do I get my hands on one of these cards? Well guys, put your hearing aids in because I'm about to give you some exclusive information. Coming up at the end of the year, Japan is running the exact same tournament and they've got actually the similar prize card. But this time, it is literally going to blow you away. I will show you the most coolest artwork of a full art card you'll ever see in your entire life. They're giving away this baby. It's just so uncomprehendable that that's actually a Pokemon card. It is one of the coolest cards I've ever seen. And yes, that is actually legitimate. They will be giving that away at the tournament. So keep your ears peeled. Definitely buy it off eBay if it's in your price range because holy mac and cheese meatballs, it's definitely going to go up in value. Number 8. I actually have a card that everybody talks about all the time. They're always in my comment section bickering, how much is it going to cost? What's exactly the most expensive one? I am talking about none other than the original first edition Shadowless base set, Holo Charizard. This is the card that is always talked about, that every single Pokemon collector and every non-Pokemon collector knows about. So I'm going to settle the debate right now as to what is the most expensive one. In order for your Charizard to be worth a current $6,000, it needs to contain these features. Number 1, it needs to be first edition, which is just that little stamp on the corner of the Pokemon card. And number 2, it needs to be Shadowless. What Shadowless means is just the picture of the Pokemon there, and then it's got a current shadow just peering off the side of the square there. That doesn't need to be there, it just needs to be the picture of the Pokemon and that's it. Also, it needs to be in absolutely gem mint condition for it to sell at that price, because obviously if you're buying a card at that price, you're not going to buy something like a scratch or something on there. And if it contains all those features, you can send it off to PSA, get it graded, and if it receives a number 10, smack that bad boy on eBay, because you're up for a whopping $6,000. Number 7? So coming in at number 7 is actually a Pokemon card that I can't even remember its name, so I'll read off the sheet here. It's Pokemon Japanese 2001 Tropical Metal Battle Tropical Wind Trophy Promo Card VS Edition. Oh my gosh. Thank God that's not all written on the Pokemon card, because the whole Pokemon card just be the title of that card. Gee whiz. So this card right here is getting in the extremely limited quantity. There were only 24 of these ever given out, and they're only given out to the Tropical Contest winners back in 2001. Being distributed back in 2001 means it has the E-Series border, which is absolutely incredible, and it makes it personally one of my favourite top 10 cards. And believe it or not, recently this card was actually on eBay. They had an auction for a PSA graded 8.5, which isn't, it's a really good grade, but it's not the best grade you could possibly get for it. Yet it was still listed at around $5,000. So you could only imagine if someone had a gem mint copy of this card, it would go for an absolutely astonishing amount that I don't even know how much it would go for. All in all, with this card, the artwork is insane. It's an E-Series. I mean, can you get better than that? Probably not. It's absolutely incredible. Number 6. So hitting up 6th place is actually a really random card. It is none other than Super Secret Battle number 2. You might be thinking, why is number 2 and then not number 1? Well, I tried to research this as much as possible, and what I sort of concluded was number 1 doesn't seem to exist. No one really knows if it's still like in function, which actually rose the price of number 2 to like an astonishing amount. So this card was actually given out to the second place winner of the Super Secret Battle Tournament back in 1999, and incredibly someone actually made a video and put it on YouTube that they actually have this in their possession. And it's so mind-blowing that a card that is so limited edition and all the way back from then still exists today with like really good quality. When looking at the comment section of this video, you sort of get the vibe that he paid a lot more than around $3,000 for it, and that was quite a few years ago. So if he was to hit the shops and take to eBay or something like that, I'm guessing he'd get around like $6,000+ for it, which could buy quite a few booster boxes for other Pokemon cards. Number 5, you can't see me. So here is one of my personal favorites on this list. If it's not for that tropical card, this definitely sets the bar. So the card that I'm talking about is none other than the Gyarados Pokemon Snap Photo Contest card. Yes, this is not the only one. They released a whole bunch of different Pokemon snaps, but it seems to be the Gyarados one goes for the most money. And a lot of speculation's been going around the internet as to why this is so cool, but a lot of people say it's because of the red thing in his mouth. Nobody knows exactly why he's eating the Pokédex, or if his tongue's been dislodged and coming out of his mouth, or if he's just got hungry and eaten his red lunchbox. But if it's any of those, it's got collectors gone in a frenzy, and it's actually gone for a whopping $8,500. Which, you know, if I was a millionaire, I would actually consider doing that because it's such an insanely brilliant card that I just love the artwork. And for that matter, not just Gyarados, I love all the Pokemon Snap exclusive cards. Number 4. So at number 4 here, we've got our first ever misprint card. A lot of you probably know already what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the misprint Raichu pre-release card. So what exactly is this misprint Raichu pre-release card? So while they're printing all the pre-release cards for our jungle, they're all meant to be printed on one card, which was the Clefable. And then all the Raichus that were getting printed next to the Clefables, the machine sort of stuffed up and it jumped all the Raichu cards into the little stamping machine that said pre-release. Then an extremely limited quantity of Raichus managed to slip the system and get out into the public with an accidental pre-release stamp on there. Being from jungle and being a misprint card and being in a magical Raichu card, you could imagine the insane value just kept skyrocketing over the years. And quite a few years back, when I say that I mean like 6 or 5 years ago, someone actually tried to sell this on eBay, and I think they were successful in selling it at around $11,500. But yeah, the card's this flippin' exclusive. I don't blame him for buying it at $11,500 because that's ridiculous. Number 3. So at number 3 here, we've actually got 3 different Pokemon cards, which is quite fitting as number 3. But the only reason I sort of grouped these into a set of 3 is because currently on eBay, there is a guy selling all 3 of these Pokemon cards. The 3 Musketeers that I'm actually talking about is the Trophy Kangas card, a University Prize Magic card, and a trainer card called Lucky Stadium. This Kangaskhan tournament card is actually a really good idea. They gave it out at a parenting or a parent and child tournament back in Japan, and it's so fitting that she always has the joy in her pouch and it's given out like a parenting sort of event. It's really smart by Pokemon, but yeah, there's only 30 of them left in the world. So I don't know how many people are massive fans of Magikarp like I am, because he's like, everyone sort of hates on him, but I think he's so cool and such like an underestimated Pokemon. And this card definitely sets the bar high for Magikarp sort of TCG cards. And the only way to ever obtain this Pokemon card here was to attend a Japanese university Pokemon contest. Now this contest was only held over a 2-day event, and then on top of that you had to win the 2-day contest in order to get this Magikarp. Now yes, that's actually a lot of work to get this one card, but who does not want this? It is the sickest thing ever. Last but certainly not least is Lucky Stadium. All you had to do was compete in this tournament back in 2000 and you got the card. I think it was like a participation promo. But then in saying this, you actually had to be invited to the tournament to attend. But you know what? If you were invited to that tournament, you don't need no card to tell you who's boss. Only 50 people competed in the tournament, so hence only 50 cards were actually given out and made. This bulk lot is currently on eBay for around $12,000, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Number 2. Okay guys, so make sure you hold your hats on because this card is literally gonna blow you out the water if you haven't seen it before. I am talking about a 2014 card. Yes, a 2014 card that is shot all the way to the number 2 most valuable card in the world. And the reason it's so far up the list is because it's so new and everybody wants it. It is none other than the Pokemon TCG winner full art card of the world's 2014 tournament. If you won the tournament, you got this incredible card right here. It is so amazing. Like, Pokemon released a little small guide about all 4 different cards you can get, and let me tell you, every time I look at these cards, it makes me happy inside that this exists in the world. They're sort of depressing at the same time because they're so limited edition, I'll probably never get my hands on it. But hey, what am I gonna do? It's incredible that these exist. I know you can't really put a price on it because it's never been released to anybody other than the winners of the TCG, and they're obviously not gonna sell their copy. On the card itself though, it's actually got a cool message saying you can return in 2015 to compete in the tournament, and it's sort of like a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory instead, where that's your golden ticket to get straight into the finals. I mean, Willy Wonka would be so jealous of this bad boy. It's so much cooler than a golden ticket. Number 1. Oh my gosh guys, we finally made it to the number 1 spot, the most valuable card in this entire planet right now that is in existence, Pokemon Illustrator. Now Pokemon Illustrator is said to be the most expensive Pokemon card that was ever listed on eBay. Now like a lot of cards in the top 10 list, this one was given out for winning a contest in a magazine. There's only said to be around 6 or 5 in existence. That literally leaves me speechless as to like that's the only amount in this world. But hey, I'll tell you guys the price and you can tell me if that's ridiculous. On eBay, the guy listed this card as a PSA graded number 9. Keep in mind, this isn't even gen mint condition. He listed it at a whopping $100,000. That's enough to choke on your chocolate milk. That is ridiculous. $100,000. I'm not kidding you right now. But the things you could buy with $100,000, a car, a boat, a house. I mean, I don't even know how many booster boxes you could buy with that amount. Is that even justifiable, paying $100,000 for one single Pokemon card? Leave a comment in the comment section below. If you were super rich, would you actually buy that card? For me personally, there were so many other cards in this top 10 list that I would rather buy over this one, especially at the $100,000 price tag. And yeah guys, that wraps up my 3rd ever top 10 video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it wasn't too funny. This is more like a factual one. So many people kept requesting me to do this one. I thought I'd finally put it to rest, show you guys what the top 10 most expensive cards in, and hey, I don't know if you guys got one in your basement, but if you do, give me a call first and we'll sort out a deal. Yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. Out of all the top 10 ones, what one is your favorite card? I'm really curious to know, but most of what is this, so guys, what do you do? You told me, I'll tell you! Make sure you keep on gaming, right? See you then.